Hey, everyone. I know we're all busy, but I'm so glad you took the time to be here today. We all love our screens, and it's tough to imagine a world without them. But today we're going to talk about why it's so important to limit our children's screen time and how we can do it without sacrificing the things we love. Section 1. The impact of excessive screen time. Let's start by talking about the impact that excessive screen time can have on our children. We know that screens can be addictive and that it's tough to tear our kids away from them. But the truth is that excessive screen time can lead to physical and mental health problems, including obesity, sleep disturbances, and anxiety. Studies have shown that excessive screen time can lead to a sedentary lifestyle, which can increase the risk of obesity and other health problems. Prolonged screen time can also lead to eye strain, headaches, neck and back pain, and poor posture. In addition to physical health problems, excessive screen time can also have negative effects on mental health. Research has shown that children who spend more time in front of screens are more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and other mood disorders. Excessive screen time has also been linked to sleep disturbances, which can have a negative impact on academic performance and overall well-being. As parents, we want our children to be healthy and happy, and that means finding a balance between screen time and other activities. We're not saying that screens are bad, but we need to use them in moderation and with intention. Section 2. Setting screen time limits. So, how do we do that? The first step is to set screen time limits. I know that this can be tough. It's hard to know what's reasonable and what's not. But there are some guidelines that can help. For example, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children ages 2 to 5 have no more than 1 hour of screen time per day, while children ages 6 and older should have consistent limits on the amount of time they spend on screens. That might mean 2 hours a day or less, depending on your family's needs and values. It's important to involve your children in the process of setting screen time limits. You might explain why it's important to limit screen time, and work together to decide on a reasonable amount of time. You might also use a timer, a parental control app, or a designated screen-free time of day to help you stick to your goals. It's important to be consistent and to enforce the limits that you set. You might provide consequences for exceeding screen time limits, such as losing screen time privileges or engaging in an alternative activity. Section 3. Engaging alternatives to screen time. Of course, setting screen time limits is only part of the solution. We also need to provide engaging alternatives to screen time that our kids will love. That might mean encouraging outdoor play, signing up for a sports team, or trying out a new hobby like art or music. The key is to find something that your child enjoys and that fits your family's values and lifestyle. It's important to remember that every family is different, and what works for one might not work for another. You might involve your children in the process of finding alternative activities. You might make a list of potential activities together, and encourage your children to try out new things. You might also provide incentives or rewards for engaging in alternative activities, such as extra screen time or special treats. Section 4. Modeling healthy screen habits. As parents, we also need to model healthy screen habits for our children. That means limiting our own screen time and using screens in intentional and mindful ways. We need to show our kids that there's a time and a place for screens, but that we also value other activities and experiences. It's important to be intentional about the way we use screens. We might designate certain areas of our home as screen-free zones, such as the dinner table or the bedroom. We might also set aside specific times of day for family activities, such as game night or movie night. We might also use technology in intentional and mindful ways. For example, we might use screens to connect with loved ones who live far away, or to learn new skills or information. We might also use screens to help us stay organized and productive, such as by using a calendar or task list app. It's important to remember that our children are always watching us and learning from our behavior. By modeling healthy screen habits, we can help our children develop a balanced relationship with screens and the real world. Section 5. Overcoming resistance. Finally, let's talk about overcoming resistance. We know that it can be tough to get kids to put down their screens and engage in other activities. But the truth is that kids thrive on routine and structure, and they often respond well to clear expectations and boundaries. That means being consistent with screen time limits and alternatives, but it also means being patient and understanding. We need to listen to our children's concerns and interests and help them find activities that they enjoy. We might also involve our children in the process of setting goals and tracking progress. For example, we might make a chart or a graph to track screen time and alternative activities, and provide rewards for meeting goals or milestones. It's important to remember that change takes time and effort. We might experience resistance or setbacks along the way, but by staying consistent and focused on our goals, we can help our children develop healthy habits and thrive in the real world. Closing. So, in closing, let's remember that screens are a part of our lives, but they don't have to control our lives. By setting screen time limits, providing engaging alternatives, modeling healthy screen habits, and overcoming resistance, we can help our children develop healthy habits and thrive in the real world. Thanks for being here today, and I hope you found this helpful.
Talking to myself, she's gonna get ya. Get a sense of role, trying to give it a whirl, thinking out loud. She's gonna get ya. Hear me out loud. Hitting her with the baseball bat until I can't pull. Makes my big ass roll look like a pop stroll. Keeping my composure just to bring some exposure. Once you're ready for the closure, I'm gonna give it full disclosure right now. Before kicking the bucket, might as well just have it. Grab my ego and check it out. The words just fuck it. She's gonna get ya. She's gonna get ya. She's gonna get ya.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Up in the middle of the club drop. Everyone high down side up. Lions patrolling, all cats are rolling their eyes and glowing with the thirst that's blowing their bodies. Dead sure will run to the parties. Make them all find out who the daddies. Walking the aisle, sexy overdose. That's controls. I live in more than a pack of hoes. My heart blows. Up blood pressure grows. How she moves. Giving away she already chose. She's that close. Eating a prey from head to toes. Only God knows how she's doing a thing with that striking pose. She's gonna get ya. She's gonna get ya. She's gonna get ya. Push up the tempo, running like Rambo, flying like a jumbo jet. Look at you. Could have ended up drop dead before the Jew. She licked my track right on, that ain't cool. How the heck am I supposed to say I'm just a fool when this hot shot can just send me back to school? What's left, baby? What's